Christmas comes to town, it's getting cold. Baby, I just want you close. I got all this joy in my heart, and if it's getting dark, yeah, we can go inside. Baby, won't you hold me tight? I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic holiday. Ooh, the rest just fades away. It's you and me, a magic holiday. The fire is burning bright, and the snow is falling down. Honey, what you need in your eyes, that whole world disappears. 'Cause when I'm feeling down, you're there to love me right. Nothing compares to this, it's such a bliss, my only wishes. I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic holiday. Oh, the rest just fades away. It's you and me, a magic holiday. A magic holiday. A magic I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic holiday. Ooh, the rest just fades away. It's you and me, a magic holiday.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Carissa Wiley from sprinkledwithglitter.com, and I'm so excited to be with you here today to craft, chat, answer your questions, create live. We are going to have such a great time. If you're coming over from my friend Megan Andrew Creates here on YouTube, then thanks for stopping by. I am going to create with the new Concord 9th release, as she just did, and we have a very special joint collaboration live coming on Friday for you. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. Central and noon Eastern time. So be sure to join either on Megan's channel or my channel on Friday. You can catch it on both channels, and we will have a great time creating with this release again, but we're going to do a little mix up. I was going to say something. And if you haven't checked out Megan's live stream from today, go over and check it out after you're done here. One thing I did want to tell you, love that we both wore green today and like the same shirt. This is from Macy's. I don't even know what brand it is, but if I find something green, I usually buy it because that tends to be my color. But we are going to create with Concord 9th's new release today. It's available now. I already published a pre-recorded video showing the new Yuletide Lane product suite. It's a how-to video, step-by-step, pre-recorded. And then today I'm going to walk you through the new release, show you all the products, show you what I created, and then we're going to create a quick card at the end of this. And hopefully you will leave here a little brighter, a little lighter, a little merrier, and inspired. I'm also going to talk about my Christmas color palette for this year because I love it so much, and I'm going to talk to you all about that. I do have links for everything in the YouTube description below, so if you want to use those links to shop, I really appreciate it. And I will do my best to answer your questions as we go throughout. Now, here's what I do want to tell you. As we go throughout the products that I created with, I'm going to kind of watch your reactions in the comments if I can, hopefully. And then I'll kind of choose something based on all of your reactions, something that you may want to see a little more inspiration with. But I have to keep it simple today because I can't be too long today. Like, I can't go for 3 hours. I just don't have the time. But we're gonna craft, we're gonna chat, and we're gonna create. I'm gonna move this just a tad. Okay, we're all better now. So should we get down to the desktop? I think we should. I'm so unprepared today. I didn't even have my little switcher over here, but let's go down. Let's do this. Let's do this. So going down to the desktop, here is a look at the color palette that I created with for the Concord 9th release. Now, this release was a huge release from Concord 9th, and me and my friend Megan split the release, and we did the release videos for Concord 9th. So when I created my projects, I created with half of the release. She created with the other half, and I created all my projects using this color palette, which is going to be my 2025 Christmas color palette. I love it so much. It incorporates some of the newest colors from Concord 9th, and I love the way that they kind of just mix and meld with everything that was already there. Concord 9th does a great job of that. So this is Poppy. This is one of the OG colors from the Concord 9th color family. And then I have Pimento here, which is one of the newer colors, as well as Nectar. That looks a little washed out there, but there's Nectar for you. Maybe I need to turn the brightness down on this guy just a bit. I'm kind of afraid to mess with it because my cameras have been giving me issues. This is Stardust. We used this the other day in our fall color palette, and you all love this color so much. This is kind of an afterthought and something I threw in at the end. My original color palette just went straight from Nectar to Pistachio and Artichoke. So these make good friends. Remember when we talked about the other day during my live stream that you kind of need colors that are friends? We have friends here, we have friends here, we have friends here. This is kind of the outlier, or the outlier. I don't know. It's on the outside of the friends rule, but it works. So we have Pistachio and Artichoke as friends. Then we have Sea Glass, Eucalyptus, and Rainforest. And we have friends here and we have friends here. Now, one of the things that I love in a Christmas palette is a lot of greens, because keep in mind, generally speaking, there's a lot of greenery. And when you're creating with a lot of greenery, you want to make sure that you're mixing up the tones of green to give them definition. So whether it's through friends or doing a more yellow green with a more blue green, kind of mixing those throughout makes for a really beautiful Christmas palette. And then of course we have some reds here. And that to me is all you need for a Christmas color palette. So that is what I created with. And as I was creating, I kind of kept this near me, but I also kept these swatches, which are my normal 2x4s. I cut new ones for these so that I could kind of shuffle them out. And I showed you how I did that in today's pre-recorded video with that Yuletide Lane. I talked about how I used these to kind of decide what color I wanted the houses to be and what order I wanted them to be in, because I could lay them out a lot easier and play with that color order because I had like these kind of cards to shuffle, if you will. So as I'm creating, I kind of did that. So anyway, that is about my color palette. You'll be seeing a lot of this color palette throughout the holiday season because I love it. Okay, so let's talk release, because this is a huge release, right? It's a huge release. I created with half of it. I'm going to go through the ones that I created with first. I'm going to turn the brightness down. We are just, we're popping here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go through the ones that I created with first. I'm going to show you some card examples, and then I'll go through the ones I did not create with. And then we're going to quickly run through Kristina's release, which I have linked below as well. Also, if you cannot find it in the written description, click that link that says for a visual supply list, click here and all of it will pop up for you, including the colors that I just mentioned. So if you're looking for the colors, those are all listed out there too. Let's start out with a stamping set. Now, I am loving the revival of stamping, like in my own self. I'm loving stamping recently. I love die cutting too, but there's something about stamping that just takes you back to your roots. And this is one of those product suites that really allows you to stamp, and it's great for mass producing. This is called the triple step evergreen stamp set. So you can see the stamps here. These 3 tree pieces layer up together to create a really full look. You have some gorgeous greetings throughout. And then of course, a coordinating die set, which not only includes the outline for the tree, but this adorable bow, some ornaments, some tree toppers, and I love this joy sentiment. So that is the triple step evergreen. I did not have my card projects in order here. So I'm gonna pull these out and show you what I created with this set. I have one more here, and this one's probably my favorite. So this is the chunky white glitter cardstock. It is only available in the festive Christmas paper pack or something like that. What I did was I stamped the tree using 3 different colors of ink, and then I used a Versamark pen to add some Versamark ink to just certain areas to add those snowy details. And I love the way that this one turned out. I also have this sky here with some gorgeous quilted background here on the card base, directly on the card base. And then this little arch is from the Desertscapes set from Concord 9th. Just a really fun, simple card, and the stamping makes it so easy to mass produce. Now, next up, I have a totally stamped card. I did not even use the outline to die cut this. I just stamped it directly onto my card front. Again, another easy way to mass produce. So that's the triple step evergreen set, and I love it so much. Okay, so that is the first one that I created with. I'm trying to work my way through this fast because there's a lot to get to. Christmas crackers. Listen, I am not from a place that uses Christmas crackers, so I kind of had to look up some inspiration, but you have your 3 different cracker shapes here, as well as this big hooray sentiment and some elements to decorate those. And then of course you have your coordinating stamp set. These little stamps will fit on the crackers. You can do them vertically, you can do them horizontally, and so it's fun to play with. So let's have a look at the cards that I created with this bundle here. I have one where I used the little zigzag in the set to cut the cracker in half so that it was like opening up with all the confetti coming out, and then I used that chunky glitter cardstock around the edge. It's kind of hard to see there to give it some sparkle. And then I created the confetti with a mix of the pieces from the die set. Oh, this got ripped somehow. I don't even know when that happened. Thank goodness my pictures are already done. But a mixture of enamel dots and things from the stamp set. And then we have this one here, which I have 3 different crackers. I used a background called Snowfall card front background from Concord 9th. It's from their Christmas release or holiday release a few years ago. And I love that you can stamp the various designs and sentiments on the crackers. So much fun. All right, such a festive set. This is not a good place for me to be setting these as we move along, so I'm just gonna move them out of the way. Now, I saw some of you over in Megan's live talking about the Wreath set, and this joyful Wreath die set kind of harkens back to some of the festive blooms and the primrose garden, where it creates a stitched map for you so that you can then lay other pieces over that stitching to create a really full look, or you can use the stitching on its own. So you have the beautiful big wreath, which has 3 dies. You have just the stitching die, you have the outer die and the inner die, and you can use a mix of those. You can use one on its own, you can use them all 3 together, and that's a really fun set. I love this banner shape here. And then of course the stitched little detail area that you can put, this fits perfectly on an A2 size card front. We have some sentiments in the coordinating stamp set that coordinate perfectly with that banner shape. Just absolutely beautiful. And then of course some smaller ones that you could stamp in the center of the wreath as well. There are a couple of bow options here that you can stack up and create a couple of different bows. And this fa la la, one of my favorites, could be used on so many different projects. So here's a look at the 2 cards that I created with this Joyful Wreath set. I love this one. It has all the layers and all the beautiful colors, all of the texture. This is actually the wood slats background, not background, it's a embossing folder from Concord 9th. Just such a good like mix in with some of this holiday stuff. It makes it feel like a door, and I love that. You can see I have that fa la la sentiment there in the center. And then for this card, I used all the stitching as my focal point. So you can see that stitched element here at the top. My wreath is just the stitching with none of the additional greenery pieces added on top, but I did add the berries on top and covered them with some glossy accents to create a fun card there. And then I just did a grouping of the greenery with the bow there. So this is so much fun. Lots of ways that you can use it. And so that is, I know a lot of you, this is going to be one of those. I think there's 2 of them that I really think are going to be super popular. One of them is the Yuletide Lane. I think this one's going to be super popular as well because everybody loves kind of those stitched lines to help create with the layers. Now, next up, I have 3 products together. So I have 2 that are the stamp and die set and 1 that is a stencil pack. Love this combo, and we may create with this today because we can create super simple cards with the combination of this stamp set as well as the stencil pack. So the Season's Greetings stamp set has all of these fun stylized greetings that you can use in various ways. I love them because they can absolutely be a focal point on your card project. So you have your focal point in your sentiment. You just need kind of like a background or some place for it to land and some pattern and some color, and simple cards come together really quickly with a product like this. And then of course you have the coordinating dies, which cut out all of the sentiments, and you have some additional elements in here as well. Now, I have to tell you that these 2 dies really messed me up when I got this set, and I was like, I don't even know what those are for. Those are actually for the fa and the la. It took me a while to figure that out, but yes, that's what they're for. So if you're wondering, that's what they're for. Next up is the Merry Mix stencil pack. This is a 6-piece 6x6 stencil pack that creates 4 different patterns. You kind of have this Nordic sweater inspired pattern with the reindeer and the snowflakes and the little like knit look pieces in there. You have this greenery with the berries. I'm going to hold this up just a little higher. The plaid, which you can do in so many colors, and then the snowflakes here. These 2 patterns here are created with 2 stencils, so it's a double kind of layer situation, and these 2 are created with just a single stencil, so you can do rainbow blending or whatever you want on those sorts of things. So for the cards with this, I created a simple plaid, kind of a more sophisticated design here with the gold and that big, beautiful, have yourself a merry little Christmas greeting. I added the scallop layer to bring in a little additional color. This plaid was created with rainforest, nectar, and pimento, and then I mounted it on poppy to bring in a little deep red to this card situation, and I absolutely love it. Few little gold enamel dots there to really just bring in some embellishment and repeat that gold again to, you know, just make it feel festive. And this one, I love like the combination of elegance and whimsy in this card because the greenery can feel very elegant, but when you combine it with kind of a more casual greeting like this merry and bright, and some fun color palettes, it really can kind of mix that sophisticated look with the playful look. And I think that this is so much fun. I used a mix of eucalyptus and rainforest here, along with pimento and nectar here. And instead of traditional gold, I used the Concord 9th champagne cardstock to just add some shine to this card. And then of course I added a few additional layers to bring in some more color. Hey Mindy, thanks for joining me. Sydney says, oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with this one. Yes, this is so much fun because stencils are easy to create backgrounds. And like I said, when you have these big, beautiful sentiments like this, cards just come together like that. All right. So the final set that I created with, and you guys already saw these if you saw my pre-recorded video, was the Yuletide Lane bundle. Now this is so much fun. I won't go into too much detail because I have an entire pre-recorded video using this, showing how you can use it in a couple of different ways on my YouTube channel now, so you can check that out when we're done live if you haven't already. But it centers around this house, and then the details are in the stamp set, which I love so much. And here is a look. Oops, I have a situation. I just threw these in a bin, and so they are they're having a moment here. But let's do this. Okay. So here are the cards that I created. I have the whole Yuletide Lane happening here with 5 different houses, all decorated a little bit different. I used only products from this product suite to create this. And of course, they connect together to create this really fun, it could be shelf display, it could be a card. You could put this on an A2 size card front. So many ways to use this. And I love it so much. But if you're not into like the full 5 house situation, you can also just cut it down and use it on an A2 size card, which is what I did here. And this plaid was created with that Merry Mix stencil pack. So that is a really fun set. I have the step-by-step videos on my YouTube channel now for both of these cards, so you can check that out. All right, so let's look at a few of the products that Megan created with. And of course, oh my goodness, rainforest ink everywhere. We've got to clean up for just a second because we don't want to get that all over our stuff. So I'm just going to do a quick wipey up here. It's like on the base of my computer and stuff. Okay, we're good. It's all good in the hood. All right. It's pouring down rain in Southwest Florida. Wow. Is it still like hurricane season there? So here's a look at the products that Megan created with. Of course, I have not created with these yet. But first up is the Accordion Tree Farm stamps and coordinating dies. This is meant to coordinate with the Accordion card base set that was released last month, right? Was it last month? Yes, it was last month. And I created a video live with the birthday set that coordinates with that, but this will create an entire little tree farm. And there's a lot of dies. There's some light strands. I love the little car. There's some trees. So lots of fun ways that you can use this. You don't have to use it for an accordion card. You could absolutely use these dies as standalone elements as well. Okay, and then on Friday, when Megan and I create together for our live stream, we decided that I'm going to use something that she created with for the release, and she's going to use something that I created with for the release. So on Friday, I will create with one of these sets. Next up is the Sleigh Full of Cheer stamp and coordinating die set. Of course, you have all of your little greetings and elements to stamp on the presents and the sleigh, and then you have your little snowdrifts here. I love this one so much. I think so simple die cutting, a little bit of sentiment there, and you could absolutely create some fun cards for the season with some nice colors. All right, Jolly St. Nick. Megan created live with this today. This is a stamp, die, and coordinating stencil set that makes a Santa Claus. I'm trying to see, is there a picture? No, there's not. But this large Santa, the stencil colors him all in. And then of course he has that big white beard where you can stamp a large greeting or something like that. I think it's so much fun and an easy set. Megan showed how you could use it to mass produce this morning. So if you are one of those who likes to mass produce Christmas cards, this might be a set you want to have a look at. Then there is the inlay die, and honestly, it's not marked here. I don't know what it's called. It's linked below, but if you love a good inlay background, this is beautiful with the big, this reminds me of like Cinderella, like the birds tying the bow. There's ornaments here, and all of this can be done in an inlay fashion. So, or you can make an impression with it too. So much fun. Finally, the winter bouquet stamp and coordinating die set. So this gives you some beautiful poinsettias and some greenery that stamps around it. You have your vases and of course, all of your sentiments that go along with that. And for the dies, you have the individual florals that you can cut out, the greenery, as well as some the vase and some extra little pieces here. So that is the entire release. There's so much happening in this release. It is so good. I love it so much. So while I walk you through Kristina's release real quick, I thought maybe you guys could throw out what set. Now Yuletide Lane is totally off the table today, but what set would you like me to create with today? To show you some simple card, or not some simple cards, a simple card that we could create today during our live stream. Do you want to see like the messages, like the season's greetings stamp set with the coordinating Merry Mix stencil pack? Do you want to see a simple card with the wreath set? We have Christmas crackers or triple step evergreen, and I could show you how you can mass produce with this. So let me know, just let me know. All right, this is Kristina's release. I'm going to go through it really quick. I have not had a chance to create with it yet because I've been busy creating with the Concord release. And so what is your absolute favorite set from Concord and Kristina this release? Hold on. Excuse me, I have something in my throat all of a sudden. Okay, I can talk again. My goodness, that was crazy. Wreath or triple step tree. Yes, the Merry Messages with the stencil set or the evergreen tree, triple step evergreen, wreath or anything you want will be beautiful. Okay, so someone asked me my favorites from the Concord release. I think the Season's Greetings and the Merry Mix stencil pack are fabulous. I love the triple step evergreen. I love the wreath too, and I love Yuletide Lane. Those are like my top 4 probably, but I haven't created with the others yet, so something may take. But those are my top 4 out of 5 products that I created with. I can narrow it down to 4. Okay, for Kristina's release, I'll talk about that, my favorite, at the end. Okay, triple step, lots of triple step evergreen. We may throw up a poll here in just a minute. First off is the Joyful and Merry stamps and coordinating dies. Love this. I'm totally going to use this in a video soon. I know I will use this. I love that big Joyful and Merry, and it's a great sentiment set that can be combined with anything. Next up is the Deco Star Easy Repeat background stamp. So this is kind of fun and funky. You can use this at the holidays or throughout the year. This is not solely holiday. I think you can use it in various colors and create some fun backgrounds throughout the year. All of these are linked in the YouTube description below as well. Next up, and this might, I think this winter greenery stamps, not the background, but this product suite and this product suite are my favorite from Kristina's release. This is the winter greenery stencil pack. Now there's also the winter greenery background bundle. So similar images, but these are the individual images, and this is a pre-done background. So it kind of depends on how you like to do things. I like to cluster things up and create my own arrangements. So I have the stamp set, the stencil set, which colors in these individual images. It has some greetings in here. And then of course, the coordinating die set, which I think is fabulous. Give it some dimension. And of course, we love a coordinating die set. Carrie says, I purchased the whole thing this morning. Love. Okay, so the winter greenery background stamp. This is one big background stamp with stencils that coordinate and also a die that coordinates. There's also some great greetings in here. So when you get this die set, you get some like bonus greetings that I think are really cool. Very similar to, like I said, the winter greenery stamps, and these would coordinate great together. So you kind of decide, do you want the individual images? Do you want the background that's already arranged for you? Also great for mass producing, yes, that background. Finally is the Holiday Icons Stencil Pack, and it creates this background here. You can see the background is colored in, so there's stencils to do that. Just fun and whimsical, some tree shapes, candy canes, ornaments, snowflakes, all mixed together. And I love that she's shown you a couple of different colorways to create with this and really have a good time. So that's all the release. I have everything linked below. If you want to shop there, you can find it below. So let me grab, I'm actually wearing jeans today, so I'm really proud of myself because it's only going to be 87 today. You want both. Stephanie wants both. Okay. I did not link my keyboard today, so forgive me because I know you always ask, y'all always ask about my keyboard when I bring it out. But I'm going to do a quick poll. So we're going to do, which set should we create with today? The two top ones I saw were the Season's Greetings, Sentiments, and Merry Mix Stencil Pack. So we're going to do Season's Greetings and Merry Mix, or Triple Step Evergreen. And we're going to start that poll, so you should see it come up in the live chat area of your YouTube live. Also, y'all, I didn't tell you, have you subscribed already? Because if you haven't, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And I'm just going to bring it up here while the poll is going so we can just talk. Love the background and pop up with individual flowers. I know, it's so good. So good. So anyway, go over there, answer the poll. Let's see what we're going to create with today. And we're going to try to create a card in like 45 minutes. Totally think we can do it because we already have our color palette picked. And for those of you who came in late, this is the color palette that I'm using this holiday season. It's got lots of green options for us, and it's got some reds and nectar and pimento and some stardust, and it is absolutely so much fun. So go over there and vote on the poll, and I'll give it another minute. I'm going to take a sip of coffee because whatever happened and I got something stuck in my throat, it's all irritated now, of course. Margie said, I subscribed after the first time I watched you. Thank you, Margie. I appreciate that. I love your straight hair today. So pretty. Thank you. I had to be up at 4:30 this morning. I had to go to a mandatory what did they call it? Nursing town hall at the hospital that I work at. I had to be there by 5:30-ish for parking. And so I was too tired to do curls today. So we got straight hair again because I've just been tired lately. Been a lot going on here in the Wiley house, but we are doing well and we are thankful for health, and we're all good. It's just, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. Okay. It looks like it is 59% to 41%. I'm going to end the poll. The winner is the Season's Greetings stamp set and Merry Mix stencil pack. So I'm going to grab that and we're going to create. Now, maybe we should do another little poll. Let's bring in my stencils. Which background should we use? So we'll create a background live. But we have the sweater pattern, the plaid pattern, snowflakes or greenery. So maybe we need another little poll just real quick to see what pattern we should create with. So I'm going to grab my keyboard again and we'll go, which pattern are we using? So we'll do plaid, greenery, we'll do snowflake, or I'm going to call it sweater pattern because that's kind of what it reminds me of. Okay, so y'all vote. Let me know. We're going to mix it up with the, of course, Season's Greetings stamp set in order to create our card. And we're going to kind of concentrate on something that would be easy to do over and over again. Okay, vote with the little thing that just popped up in your YouTube live chat area. By the way, if you're here and you're watching on replay, thank you so much for being here. And yes, I just see my friend Pink Paper and Things. Don't forget to also like this video and give it a thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Pink Paper and Things. I appreciate that. Jane, I'm so sorry that you're recovering from another surgery. I just pray that you recover very quickly and that you are feeling much better very soon. I gotta have the keyboard. If you go to, I think last week's live stream, I have it linked there. Everybody loves that keyboard when I bring it in. Okay, let's see how our poll is doing. Oh, this is like big time winner is the plaid. So we're gonna do plaid. And let's do, I am trying to think, let's do like a pinker plaid. Okay, so I did this is like a green plaid here. And for our cards that I showed you earlier, we had a very green, dark green plaid. So let's go and we will start with, the plaid has two stencils that make up the plaid pattern. So there's a wider stripe and a narrower stripe. And you're gonna lay it this way and then rotate it and do it again, and same with this one. So what I think we'll do is let's do nectar for our base. And let's do rainforest. And I'm trying to think, do I want to do, okay, I'm going to leave it there, and we may bring in eucalyptus or we may bring in gold. I don't know. Pink Paper and Things said, did you see a pink plaid? Of course I said a pink plaid. And I have okay, so when I'm creating with a color palette, especially when I'm creating a ton of cards for a release. So when I'm working on one release and I need to kind of create in the same color palette, I take the cardstock, I take a sheet of each and I cut it into half sheets and I just keep them on the side. So as I'm creating, I have all the cardstocks and all the inks I need right out in front of me. So I already have 2 half sheets because I took 1 full sheet and cut it in half of each of these colors of cardstock. We could do the nectar on a nectar colored cardstock and we could do our plaid that way. Or do we want to do a white base? I'm trying to think. Always yes to pink. Okay, let's do it on nectar. Okay, we'll do a tone on tone. Hopefully I like this. We'll see. I'm going to cut this to 5.5 by 5.5 inches. And the reason is my stencil is a 6 by 6 stencil. I'm going to end up with some leftovers at the end of this, but I'm totally fine with that because then I have these scraps that I could use as accents on other cards. All right, so I have my little 9 by 12 ultra sticky grid mat from Alta New that I'm gonna blend on. I'm gonna place that down, so that's gonna be held in place. And then I'm gonna take the large stencil first. You'll know that it's correct side up when you see the etched Concord and 9th in the bottom. So I'm gonna start with that on the bottom here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just making sure I have equal margins all the way around this here. And I'm going to press it down, okay, onto the sticky mat, onto the grip mat. Okay, so now my stencil and my cardstock are held in place. And then I'm going to grab, let's see. I'm going to grab an ink blending brush. I just re-inked my nectar before we went live. So I'm going to be careful with it because I don't know how inky it is. Okay, so let's do this. Just doing a light fluffy blend with my Pink Fresh 1-inch blending brush. So if you missed my live a couple weeks ago, I am getting so much feedback on the blending live that we did. You guys found that so helpful, and I'm so glad. If you want to know about how I choose my blending brushes for what look I'm going for, I talk about that a lot. But these give you kind of a light, airy blend and kind of spread out the ink a little bit more. It's not quite as concentrated, so I can get a nice light blend. Now, I'm not trying to go too heavy-handed with the nectar because I'm going for a tone on tone. It's gonna darken up and I don't need like solid blends on this. So I'm just kind of blending over the top of this, getting some color down. And then we will pick up our stencil and we're gonna rotate it. Question, how many refills do you feel like you can get out of your re-inkers? A lot. I've had the original color collection from Concord 9th for forever. And I've been using the same re-inkers for those, well, since it came out. Whenever they released their color collection, I have not bought new re-inkers since I got the original color collection. So I've been using them for years. Several inks out of that. Hope that helps, Catherine. Okay, so then I'm gonna pick up my stencil, okay? It was here. I'm gonna rotate it just one turn here. And then I'm going to reposition it with it. I don't get weird about making sure it's like super in the right place. I'm just gonna like eyeball it, make sure it's kind of even around the edges. And once it's even around the edges, I'm gonna press it down again and we will ink blend. My creamsicle cube dries out quickly. Creamsicle. I don't know what brand that is. Creamsicle. Some of the lighter colors I do feel like need to be re-inked more often also. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So I'm gonna blend here. We're just going over. Definitely need to watch that blending live. Marianne, a lot of people are really saying it's so helpful. Even on the replay, people are saying it's very helpful. And so I'm glad because we're gonna do another one like that at some point, and we're gonna talk about embossing. So we're gonna talk about when I use certain embossing powders, what I like to use, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll do a more topical live like that maybe once a month. The color creamsicle. I know, creamsicle's not a Concord color, so I don't know. Right? It's not, no, not. So I don't know what one that is. Creamsicle is C9? I don't have creamsicle from Concord 9th. Do I? Yes, I do. Oh my gosh. It's just not a color I use very much. It's a lighter color. It's a lighter color, so it's going to be one of those that probably will need to be re-inked more often. And cubes are naturally going to dry out more because it holds less ink. It's a smaller area, so definitely cubes are going to need to be re-inked more often. So I'm looking for the wording on the bottom. It's etched again. I'm going to start with it equal margins around all of the edges and just line up stencil number 2 here in my plaid pattern. Creamsicle, man. It's been a long time since I've used creamsicle. My brain is not working. I'm telling you, it's one of those weeks. It is a C9 color. Yes, you're right. It is. Okay, we're going to use Rainforest. This is a smaller area. I want to make sure that I get a more solid blend. So I'm going to use a 1/2 inch blending brush. And I'm just going to blend right along here. A smaller brush with tighter bristles is going to pack in more. My Pink Fresh brush has a little more give in the bristles, so it will take maybe a slight more bit of elbow grease to get a really solid one, but at least I don't have to try to get into these tight areas with a large blending brush. Okay. You guys okay out there? The plaid is already looking so pretty. I know, I love Nectar and Rainforest together. Two of my favorite colors from the C9 family. Creamsicle. Oh my gosh, I'm still hung up on that. My brain, I'm telling you, I need some rest. All right, I need to buy some C9 inks. Should I buy the cubes or full-size ink pads? It depends, Donna, on how you tend to use your pads. And what kind of space situation that you're working with. I find myself reaching for my full-size pads the most, but you can use cubes. So it depends. I mean, honestly, I'm more of a full-size ink pad girly, but some people really like the cubes. And so you guys can help Donna decide on that. So like I said, I tend to be more, I like cubes when I have to ink up small areas and I'm trying to do like concentrated inking, like where I'm trying to ink one thing in one color and another thing in another color. But for the most part, I find myself using the full-size ink pads. But if you want to buy a like large variety of colors, and it's more affordable for you to do that with the cubes, then you can definitely make it work. I do find it's hard to use like a large blending brush on a cube, but it can be done. Megan says, I like cubes for traveling and large inks for using at home. That's great advice as well. I tend to use my cubes in photos because it allows me to show all the colors that I use with the inks and such without having to try to fit all the large size ink pads in. I'm just going to be honest. That's where I use them the most, is in photos as props. I have cubes for Pink Fresh Studio, Catherine Pooler, and C9. Yeah, I mean, I have lots of cubes too. I use them for different purposes. Okay, so there's my Rainforest, and I'm going to rotate one turn. I'm going to be careful not to get this. I think I would have liked this, honestly, better on... My dog is barking and it's driving me crazy. I think I would have liked this better on white cardstock. I'm just going to say it. I'm not loving my choice right now, but we'll see. We'll see. I just tried to yell at my dog to make her stop, but it doesn't work. Hold on, I gotta go get her. The neighbors are gonna go crazy. Okay, I'm back. I think, you know, I have one neighbor who sometimes puts his finger through the fence and kind of eggs her on. I don't know if he knows that the whole time I'm inside, like yelling at her to stop, and he's kind of egging her on. So, but she was kind of over at the fence, like she sees him. He works out there in his backyard and does pull-ups by our fence. And so I'm wondering if he's doing his pull-ups right now, because she was kind of towards that area of the fence, but driving me nuts. And so I had to go get her. I get the dog issues. I have two that keep me on my toes. I know. Mochi, Charlie, when we first got her, she was not like, he's totally looking at me. Charlie was very quiet when we first got her, and then he's like a little dog and he barks at everything, and he taught her to bark, and now she thinks she's important stuff out there with all her barking that she does. Okay. Dogs are like 2-year-olds no matter how old they are. It is like having a couple toddlers running around the house for sure. Many of you know that I've talked about Charlie a lot, but we got way more than we bargained for with her. I love her to death, but man, she can be a lot at times. I don't know what I would do without her, but she's also the one that always comes in and checks on me, and she'll drive you nuts, but she loves you to death too. So, okay. I'm going to wipe up my mat here. I'm going to take this off. Okay. And there's this. It feels very orange. I'm not sure that I love this. So what I might do is quickly blend one on white, and then we can talk about that. I'll do it this way. I don't love it. I don't love the nectar on the nectar. It feels very orange to me, and it doesn't feel Christmas. So I'm going to start over again. Okay. You can always start over. There's no rules against that. So we'll go back to stencil number 1. I'm not going to get my card in 45 minutes or whatever since I'm redoing, but that's okay. Okay, I want to make something I like. So now we know it may have looked better. I think I probably would have been happier with it on, like, if I did red on red than the other. Julie says that when I post a picture of Charlie, you can see all the personality. You totally can. Everybody tells me when they see pictures of Charlie that she looks like she's just going to talk. And they say she looks like a cartoon dog, like she's ready to, like she has something to say. She has lots of personality. She's a Bernedoodle. She loves to be outside. They have a dog door, so they go in and out. We're going to do this quick, okay? So I honestly, when I'm building a pattern like this, I'm not super worried about my ink blending being like the smoothest of all the smooths, you know? I just don't worry about it. It is what it is. I'm going to trim this down anyway. I'm going to be turning this and going over the area in another way. So it'll all work out in the end. Right? I think I'm going to like this more. All right. And you can go back and look at the Concord sneaks. They did some colors that I loved with this plaid pattern. Okay, so we're going to pick up. We're going to rotate. We're going to go equal distances around the edge. Bring this down just a bit. And place that down. I'm using a magnet to help me kind of hold some of this area down. Yeah, I'm loving the white much more. So you guys can let me know. Are you glad we went back to white? I think it feels a little lighter, and I think it's going to feel a little more like less orange. Took a quick walk. We'll have to watch the replay. Oh, well, we're just now really getting into creating, Laura. At the first part of this, I hope you watched the replay. At the first part of this, I walked you through the release and walked you through some projects that I've created with the release so far. So I hope you will watch the replay, but we're just barely getting started here. Oh, I like that so much more. Okay, now we're gonna go back to this smaller line stencil. I'm trying not to get ink all over my fingers. White is better. I know we tried it, it didn't work. We don't always hit home runs, right? So we'll make it happen. Let's see. I should have marked my edges for this, but I did not. So, oh, I can see the line of my stencil up there because I did the blending. Let's see. All right, I think we're about there. Scooch it just a little. This would be a lot easier if the stencil wasn't dirty already. I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the ink. Okay, we're just gonna make it work. We're just gonna show you that can just kind of get it into place. It's gonna be fine. All right. Oh, it's so much more quiet now that she's inside. Had to just close off the dog door because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind for her. Like, just come on in, calm down. All right. Live and learn. Yeah. Oh, when the background was nectar, it was giving more creamsicle vibes. I agree. It just felt like a lot of orange. It really did. Now, I would be all into it probably if it was ballet slipper. I'm not going to lie. The ballet slipper on ballet slipper would be fantastical. Now, this stencil set, especially the plaid, I think would be so cute mixed with the little Santa stencil set that Megan showed earlier on her channel. So keep in mind, you can mix and match some of the product, or you can mix and match all of the products throughout the release to create various looks. Everybody likes the white better. I do too, so we're all in agreement. That's good. Oh, so pretty. I didn't get it in the exact center, but we're good. Let's see, I'm gonna just kind of look through this. Get it centered up. And place it down. Okay. Then we're gonna ink again with Rainforest. Question, the festive cardstock pack is only available on the C9 website. Yes, that is my understanding. So Concord and 9th creates like these color packs with pre-done color combos for you, and that festive Christmas pack is one of those, and it comes with that chunky white glitter as well. But I do not believe that they sell those like combo packs on other sites. I think it's just like a them thing. And if you look, there's lots of different color packs, and if you have all of the colors of cardstock, that's a great cheat for finding color combinations that really work well together, because they've put them together for you, and it's easy just to go pull those colors, and they don't even have to be cardstock colors. You can use them as ink colors instead. So if you're looking for an ink color combination, there's that. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done. Just trying to get enough of this Rainforest ink into the stencil so that it has the right color shade. Question, can you compare the chunky white glitter paper and the diamond glitter paper? They're not even the same color, Tracy. Diamond glitter is like silver. The chunky glitter is a white chunky glitter. Possibly at the end I could, but right now I'm deep in blending this plaid. But they're like, I wouldn't even put them in the same color category. because one is a white glitter, like an iridescent white chunky glitter, big chunks of glitter. Diamond glitter cardstock is a silvery, like silvery color. It's not as silver as a silver, but it's definitely in the silver family. So hopefully that helps a little bit there. All right. So we're going to move that. We're going to get these out of my way so that I'm not putting my hands in them. So much better on the white. So much better on the white. And now we have our background created. Okay. So we'll set my little grip mat aside and we're going to decide what sentiment we would like to do on this, and then we'll use the coordinating dies to die cut it out, and maybe we'll use some of the greenery. Now, I really love the Merry and Bright, but I've already used it. I feel like this pattern and the Fa La are not like, they would work, they're just not jiving. You know what I mean? Question, does the chunky glitter shed? No, I used it on my houses and I did not find that it was shedding on me at all. In fact, I was really worried about that, but didn't seem to have any problem with it. And I created quite a bit with it for this release. All right. I'm going to grab these are Spellbinders Precision A2 layering dies. And I think I'm just going to cut down my plaid, and then I'll have an extra like little strip I can use on another card. Ooh, yes, so much different in the best way. I know, right? I'm assuming you're talking about the plaid on the white. Okay. I'm going to scooch this over as much as I can. And I'm going to run this through. So I'm just trimming this down. I'm just guessing. Season's Greetings or Fa La. I don't love the Fa La with this because I don't know. I feel like I have an idea in my, I think it's because I have an idea in my head for the Fa La, and it just, the plaid is not where I would go with that. I would tend to go with the snowflakes for that. I like the idea of the Holly Jolly with it. While I'm kind of deciding on that, what I might do is take a couple of these greenery pieces here and the berries from the coordinating die set, and I'm thinking I may just cut them in a couple of different colors. So I'm thinking maybe some eucalyptus here. Where'd my little berry thing go? And then for the red, thinking pimento. Okay, so let's just do this. We're going to cut these at the same time. So we only have to run this through once, and we'll have a couple little greenery pieces. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That would be fun. Although I probably cut this too small to do that. Oh, we could do it like on a horizontal. I'm going to do maybe a couple more of these greenery pieces, but I think I'm going to do them in rainforest so that we're getting like a variety of the greens throughout. I might cut a few more little berries and then a couple of rainforest greeneries. Pimento does have a lot of orange in it. It does. But you can see how it fits into the palette here. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping all of these. So you can see how it fits in the palette. Same color. So, got some more of those. You could do poppy instead if you want a truer red color, but I like the pimento and the nectar together. I think it makes for a nice transition. I really love the sentiments. Yes, they're so good. They're so good. Okay. So we have some greenery pieces. What if we just did this Sending Holiday Cheer? I love this one. What if we did that? Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, let's do that. Let's heat emboss it on to some rainforest cardstock, and then we'll die cut it. So I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna use, ooh, I'm not gonna use that block because I'm not gonna stand up to get it. I'm gonna use a block, and I have got my hubby to put my little boy to bed so I can watch the live. Awesome, Emma, I'm so glad you're here. I think you are from the United Kingdom, across the pond, if I remember correctly. Donna says, I may have to buy the whole ink palette from today's live. I have them all linked below. So if you're looking for them, they are linked below. I'll just say that. I know, this is kind of a fun, it's like sophisticated, but playful. So I'm gonna do that, and let's do, I don't think I want white. I think we're gonna go, remember the other day when we did like that platinum color? I think we're gonna do that again. So let's do the platinum. And it coordinates with the champagne foil cardstock so well. I'm gonna lay it on there. I'm gonna like wiggle it around, and then I'm gonna tap it off. Okay, it looks not like much, but we will get there, I promise. Okay, and we're gonna put this up. Question, is there a reason you're doing rainforest for the sentiment and not nectar? Because I think it will stand out more, and I have a lot of nectar in the background, so that's why. The nectar and rainforest combo is so pretty. I love it so much too. It looks great for florals too. Okay, so I'm gonna heat this up. We could do like an offset of nectar with another layer, and I think that would be pretty, but I just didn't want like a ton of nectar for this. So we could like offset it with a piece. I think it'll be pretty. So I'm gonna heat from the back and get this melting. Just melting until it's smooth. Okay? I don't want to over melt because then it will just soak right into the paper. I'm gonna let it just cool for just a second. And then I am going to take my cloth and I'm gonna wipe away all of the extra anti-static powder. Okay? So this is gonna look really cool. It's gonna look rich, I think, with this dark sentiment. Now I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna die cut this using the coordinating die. So it just kind of fits right around there. Just like that. Just get it centered up and run that through, making sure I didn't shift anything there. Okay. So we can do that. And then I'm going to do an offset layer from the nectar. So we'll do that. I think this is going to be super cute and simple. You could even make a mini card like this, or a tag. Would be very adorable. And then I think I'm going to cut 2 more. I'm probably not going to use them all, but I'm going to cut a pimento, and I'm also going to cut from the champagne cardstock from Concord 9th to pull in that embossing powder. And then we can kind of play with what colors we want to stack here to create a fun little offset shadow. And then we'll sprinkle the greenery around it, maybe add a couple enamel dots. Thank you. I always love hearing your thinking process. I was a bit confused since you have rainforest leaves too, and then you wouldn't think that that would be too much rainforest as well. Well, we'll see. We may recut the leaves when we get there. I was just grabbing a couple of colors. I don't always think all the steps ahead, so we'll just see what we end up with. Okay. So I'm thinking this. Okay. I think we do rainforest, nectar, champagne. That is the ticket for me, and we will have that up on some foam adhesive. So I'm going to take some liquid glue. I'm going to add it to the back of my rainforest layer, and I'm going to place it on to the nectar layer, but I'm going to offset it just a touch. So you're going to see the nectar coming over the top just a little. And then we'll do the same thing with the champagne. This is a great way to bring other colors into your palette without bringing in huge amounts. It's just like these little accents of colors, and just trying to make that equal there. Okay, so now we have the rainforest, the nectar, and the champagne. Now this foil cardstock, it takes longer for the adhesive to dry on it, so just don't let it wiggle around too much for you. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it marinate there for just a second. And while that's marinating, I think I'll go ahead and cut a layer that's slightly bigger. Now here's where I like my A and B size, because one is slightly bigger than the other. So I use this one to cut my plaid, and I'm gonna look for the one that's just teensy bigger than that and cut a champagne layer. And it's this one. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be a sliver of champagne when you get it on that plaid layer. But it's going to be just absolutely beautiful. Okay. Oh, handmade card Happy Heart says you are the best. That's so sweet. Thank you. I forget about offsetting die cuts. Such a great look. It is a great look, Def Shelty Mom. So it's just a great way to bring in additional color, not in huge amounts, but enough that it just kind of is a pop that kind of helps keep it from falling flat. So do you see that little bit of champagne? We're gonna do this. Now, one of the things I think would be really fun with this kind of Merry Mix stencil pack is to add like an embossing folder over the top of some of this. So I think you could. Okay, I'm thinking maybe something like this where we're offsetting the greenery. I don't know if I like both of the big greeneries there, so hold on. Maybe more like this. Kind of bringing some greenery out here. And then maybe just doing another simple little grouping of that. And maybe we need one additional one of both from a vellum to give it some, like another layer, but keep it from being too, so simple. Love that. Love that retro vibe. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the greenery layers again. We're gonna die cut them from some vellum. This actually card is going pretty quick. I know the champagne layer is beautiful, gives it just that bit of shine. The champagne and the nectar look so good together because it's like a more, like a neutral colored champagnes. Okay, so Handmade Card Happy Heart says, I always get indentations, and yes, that is how you say it, on my cardstock when I put my paper through the machine because of the plate on top. Anyone else? I have a Spellbinders. If your top plate has a lot of marring in it like this, it will make texture in your paper. So what I recommend is that you always cut into the same plate. So you can see I actually have one that I accidentally cut into, but I do not cut into this one. I only cut into this one. If you keep one plate cleaner, then that will help prevent the indentations. The other thing that you can do to prevent indentations when you run your die and your cardstock through, number one, cut down your cardstock around your die so you are working with just the cardstock that you need. But you can also put a scrap piece of paper over the top of those so that when you run it through, it kind of protects it from that texture. The thing about, and this is the unpopular opinion that nobody likes from me, but the thing about die cutting pads, I understand we want to get the most from them, but they work the best when they are cleaner and newer, and eventually they do need to be replaced. It's just part of what it is. So just keep in mind that it is a consumable. It was never meant to last forever. There's no way that they can really create a pad that lasts forever. And so when you're replacing next time, just keep one that you cut into all the time and one that's clean that you lay on top. And that will help prevent some of the indentations that you're getting. You can also just trim down the little piece that you need and kind of do that to keep it from, you know, messing up all of the other cardstock that's around it. Okay, I'm really liking this, so I am going to remove this from the backer, and I'm going to put these out kind of towards the side a little bit. I'm just using the foam adhesive that's already on the back to kind of attach these to the back side of my greeting piece. That one may need its own little bit of glue there. But we're just kind of fanning them out at the corner there. So I have a eucalyptus, a rainforest, and a vellum piece. And then we're gonna kind of mirror it over here-ish. I mean, it's not gonna be exact, but we'll do something similar over here where we have our rainforest, our eucalyptus, and our vellum layers. Just kind of simple little grouping here. Okay. And that will kind of go right, just, it's going to be a very simple card, but I'm totally cool with that. Nikki says, hi Carissa and Crafty Friends. Carissa, to save cardstock, do you ever gut out the matte layer since it won't be seen? I usually cut my sentiments out of the matte layer. Sometimes, but not all the time. I mean, yes, you can definitely like cut the center out of this or cut something out of the center of this to keep from wasting all of that. You have to be careful when you then adhere that, because if you are adhering it with tape runner like this, you can end up with it like kind of sinking down into that open area depending on how much you've cut out and what you've cut out. So yes, that's definitely an option. I don't tend to do it a lot, and I know that a lot of people find that wasteful, and I'm sorry if you find that wasteful. But I just like the solid layers. I think it adds some weight to the card and it makes it feel really thick and sturdy and like quality. And I love that part. Okay, so now I love this. I actually love the simplicity of this. So I'm going to take some liquid glue and add it to the back because I already have that foam adhesive on there, which is giving me some dimension. But since the greenery is covering up most of the foam adhesive, I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the back of the foam adhesive. And I'm going to grab some tweezers to keep my fingers out of the way. And then we're going to add those little bits of pimento, which are going to give us a pop of red, which is going to just bring it into that holiday vibe. Okay. Let's see here. Just kind of center it up. Making sure I'm all straight across there. Love that. Okay. I did get a couple little pieces of embossing powder that kind of snuck off of the embossing ink. And look at, I think this is going to be adorable. The other thing we could do, I think I'm just going to tuck a couple of these little berries into the greenery rather than, let's do that. Okay. Let's see, what did Mindy say? Question, are you going to use the berries? Yes, I'm with you on that, Carissa. You are not alone, says Mindy, about the cutting of the center. You can get some sagging in there. So depending on, if I was putting this on foam adhesive and it was going to sit above that and not directly on the champagne layer, then I might be more likely to cut out the center, but I often just don't. So that's just kind of me. I know it's it's another unpopular opinion that I have, just like the plates for the die cut machines. It's just a me thing, but there's nothing wrong with it if you do that. And if you find it works for you, I just think it works probably better if you're not trying to mount it directly on there with tape runner adhesive and you're doing it with foam adhesive instead. Okay, loving this. I'm loving this pop of pimento. I know it's not for everybody, but I'm digging it. Okay, listen. You need to stick down there. I feel like, here's what I feel. The berries and the pop of that color, you are all already saying it, brings a pop of color, a little bit of red, and it pushes this palette more towards that holiday feel, which I love. So I think it was a good call. I love the pimento. I've been digging it with this color palette, and you see a lot of it in my creations this month, a lot of the pimento. What pick tool are you using? I love the color of it. This is the Altenew Perfect Picker tool. I would not have named it that. I'm just saying. But I do love it. I want all 3 of the Concord 9th holiday packs. Yes, built-in color palettes. So easy to use. Okay. We could do this. Ooh, moody. We could do this. Talisa Inc. says, Carissa, it's been a while and I just missed your sweet little self, loving the card. Thank you, Talisa. That is so sweet of you. I'm loving, okay, so many options. All of these are options in my book. Sea glass, eucalyptus, rainforest. All options. Jennifer says, the pimento makes the card. It is that just pop of green that you need. This is going to go on some foam adhesive. And I know you guys are all going to start telling me what color you want me to use. There are sea glass, eucalyptus, and rainforest. So let's just do that again. So we have Rainforest. That's dark and moody and so very holiday. We have Eucalyptus, which this is a stunner here. Sea Glass also looks amazing. Mindy says, I love them all. I need a notebook for Carissa's lives. Most must note down Pimento and Nectar, Rainforest, and Eucalyptus. Yes, good color combination. Rainforest. Love them all. Eucalyptus, but yes, they are all great options. I like Sea Glass the least. Yeah, I think I do agree that these two are like both great options. So decisions. This is the hardest decision I make usually, is what color I want. It looks like I'm going to have to do a poll because I'm thrilled with either one of those. So I'm just going to let you guys decide. And we're going to bring the keyboard back in since we have time. What color card base? Rainforest or boop boop. That was not it. Rainforest or Eucalyptus. Oh, it does not want to type for me. Eucalyptus. Start poll. Y'all can vote, okay? I'm thrilled with either one of them. You pick. My preference is Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus, so moody and grounded. I agree. It's a whole different vibe, isn't it? Okay, while we do this, while you all vote, I am going to put some foam adhesive on the back. Go half and half. I mean, you could. I see what you're saying because as I lay it on there, it's kind of a cool vibe, right? Mindy Egan, good point about the sagging. Yeah, Mindy said, I have enough sagging in my life. I don't need it on my cards too. Sister, I am with you. I am with you. You know, I am in my mid-40s now. There's plenty happening. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and this was, okay, we ink blended two backgrounds. I'm so glad we went with the white. Okay, I'm just going to say. We ink blended two backgrounds. At Carissa Wiley, please veto. What am I vetoing? Is it because you're losing? Stephanie knows that I reserve the right to veto any decisions here that you all make in the polls. Sometimes I'm just like, nah, that's not it. And I get something and I'm like, no, not doing it. But I'm just making both of these into card bases while you guys continue to do this. I'm going to just fold these, get them ready to go, and then we'll just be able to pop this onto whichever one we decide. It's so, both of them are just so good. I think that I would just be happy with either one. Let me see. Don't forget to like this video. Hold on. Carissa just hit something on the mouse and it's being weird. So, oh, that's not what I want to do. Reset. Okay. It is 63% for Rainforest. You all love the dark and moody vibe. Okay, they're both options. There's too much Rainforest. I don't know. I think it makes the nectar pop. I don't know. You guys want Rainforest. I think I should do Rainforest because you all want Rainforest. I mean, I'm just doing it because you guys like it, but it does change the mood. So Nikki says the Rainforest takes it up to an elegant card. Yes, I agree. If you want a more casual look, I would go with Eucalyptus. If you want a more formal, like sophisticated look, I think the Rainforest is where you go. What about Nectar? I can show you Nectar. I don't think I'm going to like it, but let me grab it here. That's not it. Here's why. I'll tell you why, because we do this. We do this here. This, to me, does not create the contrast that you need for the plaid to kind of take center stage. Do you see how the plaid recesses and you just kind of lose the plaid? Whereas if you go with something that contrasts in the color, then you're getting the plaid staying center stage. Which one would I pick? You know, I don't know. I would probably just sit here and go back and forth a million times. And I'm totally thrilled with either one of these. Like I said, casual, more sophisticated, and completely losing the plaid here. Like you don't even see the plaid anymore, in my opinion. What about the color of the berries? Okay, it's going to be too much. It's an option, and it definitely feels Christmassy, but it's not, it doesn't feel cohesive. The pimento really needs to be an accent, and this is way too much pimento. If I was going to do it, I might be tempted to do more of like poppy instead, where it's not exactly the same color red. And I did this on another card. I might do the darker, richer poppy. Let's look at Stardust. Doesn't work. It's just not right. Pistachio could be an option. And I don't hate that either. It's not a green that we have tied back in here, so it's not, wouldn't be my first choice, but I don't think this is bad. Okay, so I would stick with one of these two. Both greens are pretty. No pimento. Yeah, and tomato soup. The greens are better, totally agree. Okay, y'all, you guys want the rainforest, so we're gonna do the rainforest. That's what you all voted. No, too much. The greens are better. Okay. Yeah, and we kind of talked through why it doesn't work, so hopefully that helped. Now that you explained the plaid, I want to change my answer to eucalyptus. The plaid stands out more on eucalyptus. Okay. That mutes the gold. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get it centered up here. And drop it into place. Okay. Very moody. Very moody. Love it. Let's do maybe just a touch of glossy accents on these, if it will cooperate. Oh, we're going to mess something up. I just know it. I'm going to do it on the ones that are sitting in the front, not the one that's behind. Here, I'm just adding some glossy accents to the berries to give them a little bit of shine. And then, hey, you know what was crazy? I was just thinking, and I'm probably going to jinx it now, but we hadn't had technical difficulties this time that we had last time. And when I watched the replay back, it was frozen on my end on my YouTube, but it was not frozen in the replay. Okay, the other thing that we could do, well, I would love that card in my mailbox. Love that choice. Gorgeous. Love it. So pretty, rich looking, so sophisticated. What about white? White would be an option, but I feel like it would fall a little flat for that. And I was going to see if I could find my scrap here of the plaid, and I cannot, to put it on white to show you. But I have lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's my scrap of the plaid. And if you were putting it on white, it's just kind of blah. Just kind of blah. Okay, I just think I want to add a couple pieces of crystal confetti to this, just for an additional element. And I'm going to use that perfect picker tool again. Let's see if I like it or not first. I mean, maybe it's too much. But you know me, I'm a girl who loves a little bit of shine. No, I don't think it needs it. It's an option, but I feel like it's trying to make fetch happen. We're not trying to make fetch happen. Question, do you ever use the enamel dots? Yes, I do. I've used them in this release. That's a gold one. I used it on this card with the nectar in the background. I used it on one of my Wreath cards to kind of accent the stitched pattern. And I went through all of these at the beginning of the live. So if you were late, you can go back and check that. Carissa, do you have any tips for getting, do you have any tips for getting the matting layers equal distance around the card layer? I really feel like it comes with time, but part of it, I kind of use my fingers to stabilize as I get it into one area and then I lay it down. But part of it is looking at it from the top too sometimes. I think sometimes that's helpful as well. So a beautiful, simple holiday card. This is something that I really do think that if you keyed down just the layers a little bit, you could probably mass produce this, because a lot of this is stenciling and a little bit of stamping. There's not a ton of die cutting. Instead of die cutting these layers, you could just trim them with a trimmer, and that would make that probably a little bit quicker for you. Do you have more gold tone sequins? I don't have that champagne colored sequin, so I wouldn't try to do that. So any other questions? I would love to answer them before I head out. I'm going to try to head out here in the next 2 minutes. So if you have some questions, while I talk about that, I just want to say that links are in the YouTube description below. If you love something that you've seen here today, you can use the links below to buy it. I really appreciate it. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I'm live here on YouTube 1 to 2 times a week here on my channel. And on Friday, I am going live with my friend Megan Andrew Creates, who is in the chat here today. I know she's creating behind the scenes too. It will be at 9 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Central Time or noon Eastern Time. We're going to both go live together and create more inspiration with this Concord 9th release. So hopefully you'll join us either on Megan's channel or my channel there. So thank you for the release and the demo. You're very welcome. I'm going to head on out now since I'm not seeing, oh, Lori says I missed what champagne cardstock you used. It is the Concord 9th champagne cardstock here. So it's a little, here's the gold. This is their gold and this is their champagne. So it's a little more neutral. All right, well, where's the pick tool from? It is from Altenew. So this is the Altenew Perfect Picker Tool. Pink Fresh Studio has one as well. That's great. What brand was your embossing powder? Altenew Platinum Embossing Powder. All right. I think that's it. I will see you guys live here on Friday. And until next time, if you haven't already checked out the video for the Yuletide Lane, go check out that pre-recorded. Go check out my friend Megan's live from today. And I will see you live here on Friday. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.